Investigators say they believe another fire was smoldering underground for a week before it reignited again and exploded into that deadly Palisades fire. These are called holdover fires or zombie fires. They go dormant and then flare back up, but detecting them can be very, very difficult. One of the country's top fire experts, Professor Craig Clement, says that even sophisticated imaging equipment can miss these kinds of situations. Meanwhile, others are scrutinizing the department and raising questions about why it wasn't stopped from reigniting.
One of those pushing for answers is the former head of the LA County Sheriff's Department Arson unit, Ed Nordskog. He's joining us live this morning to discuss. Ed, thank you for being with us this morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, so part of the conversation for some people is how the department fell short in their initial response to the Lockman fire, which then becomes the Palisades fire. Tell us what your criticism is.
Well, my criticism isn't against their initial response. I just have questions, and there should be some sort of formal inquiry on what mitigation efforts were conducted after the Lockman fire. They had 5 or 6 days knowing that a hurricane force winds were coming, and what exact mitigation efforts were done in between that time. The fire departments do have modern camera systems. They have modern detectors. They have people that can go out and inspect the grounds and find out if there's an issue with any previous fires. And since there was plenty of warning of these big winds that were coming, that's probably something that should have been done. And I haven't seen information of how it was done. And so that's what should be done through some sort of commission.
You know, the question I have when I was looking at this, as you just mentioned, we were for days reporting that there were going to be these potentially catastrophic winds. You know, in that type of situation, is there a way that once this fire starts, shouldn't they have known kind of, oh, wow, that's where this fire was almost, you know, a little less than a week ago. We should maybe go check that out and try to suppress it?
Well, yeah, if they knew that there was still smoke coming from the ground or there was heat in areas, yeah, they would have brought in a hand crew, probably from county fire department, or they would have brought in dozers. They have plenty of those items, and they can get mutual aid from any agency. So had they suspected that they still had hot spots in those intervening days, they have the equipment and tools to deal with those. And I just haven't seen a report that they actually did that.
And if you see that report and this proves to be true, would this be a rare thing? What makes you think that the fire department did not properly respond to this? What would be a reason for that? Could it have been the shortage we talked about of firefighters? Was there not enough staffing? Were they distracted by something else? Why would they possibly not do something that they know could lead to a catastrophic fire?
Well, that's what an independent commission should ask questions, and should ask everybody from the line firefighters up to the chiefs, the big chiefs, of what was done, what exactly was done, and at what day and what time, and do you have proof that you actually did that? And if they did all the right things and it still happened, then that's just a quirk of the weather. But I haven't seen anybody talking about what they did, so that's got to be done through some sort of independent commission.
Well, U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley yesterday made a very quick answer to a reporter who asked about this, and he was very quick to say, you know, firefighters are meant to suppress a fire, not necessarily put it completely out. Do you think they're trying to get ahead of this, maybe potentially?
Well, the U.S. Attorney's dealing with legal issues, and he has legal issues when you have 2 fires, but they're really stemming from one fire. That's some legal issues he's going to have to deal with in court for the charges he's bringing. So I don't know if he's trying to get ahead of anything. He's dealing with what his court case is what's going to be brought up in court.
All right. And what do you feel like accountability looks like at this point? I know you want to see that report happen. Anything else after that?
Well, if they made mistakes, then mistakes do happen. If they made the mistakes, then we admit the mistakes, no matter how painful it is, and it's super painful in this part if there's mistakes, and they fix them so that it doesn't happen again. We're going to get fires like this again, or at least conditions like this again, so we don't want the same mistakes repeated over and over and over. So if there's mistakes, they need to admit that and then fix them. And that's the proper way to deal with this.
Yes, that's how we learn and grow, is from our mistakes. Ed, thank you so much for being with us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right, ahead.